Hey, this is Godfrey. You guys can check out my podcast in Godfrey We Trust on the Gas Digital Network, Tuesdays and Fridays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So no matter where you at, just adjust it. And also you can go to my YouTube channel, Godfrey Comedy, to check out some of the episodes and subscribe to my YouTube channel and subscribe to In Godfrey We Trust on the Gas Digital Network with promo code Godfrey. Yeah. Peace. Am I good? We good?
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
As long as you're comfortable, we're good.
You know, African shit. This is how we are. You South Africa, West Africa. What's up? I'm Nigerian. You know that?
Yes, I just found out from our research that you're Nigerian.
I just found out. Yes. Yes, I just found out. I just found out. Yeah, I look in my books and my research.
You know, actually 2 weeks ago, I was watching this documentary on Netflix about Nigeria. No. I was so upset afterwards.
What happened? What is it about the government? No,
it's way before that. It's how colonization.
Oh my God!
Do you know the story?
What's it called? Well, I know we were colonized by England. I know England colonized, but our liberation was 1960, October 1st. But what is it called?
I'll remember now. But as soon as I do, I'll send it to you.
Send it to me, man.
Basically, they took us back from. So this documentary starts showing the liberation in 1960, like you said, and then it goes backwards. Yo, Godfrey, I was so upset. I've never felt so upset in my life. You know, I've seen a lot of stuff. Yeah, this one upset me. It's even like
and you being South African and the way they fucking treated you guys, and they still treat these cracker ass Dutch motherfuckers. Fuck them crackers, man. I'm sorry, but I can't stand it when I see a white person go, I'm South African. Shut the fuck up. Ain't South African. You a white motherfucker that didn't know when to leave. Shut up. And they came in the 1600s in South Africa. And they're like, this is what I'm saying. I talk about this. I talk about this, man. I say, yo, man, first of all, you come in and you take people's shit from them. But then the fact that you name yourself an African is so gangster to me. You mean to tell me you even took that? You white, you said, I'm African too. That's like me living in China, right? That's like me living in China. And I go, hi, I'm Chinese. I'm a Chinese. Look, it's like, do you think they would believe it if I said I was Chinese? If me and you were like, we're Chinese, do you think that they would believe we were Chinese?
Not a chance.
Not a chance. And why is that? Because we black and they don't respect us at any level. You feel me?
Yeah.
See, that's the same thing. So these white people going, I'm South African. Bitch, you ain't South African. Fuck you. You're not. You are white. Just say, I happen to live in South Africa for 400, 500 years, and I just happen to be a fucking colonizing piece of shit. So you're not South African. You're Dutch. You're fucking Dutch. And then they got the nerve to go Afrikaans? Wow. We're going to put 2 A's in the Afrikaans. They didn't just say
African.
Yeah, we're going to be even more African. We're going to go Afrikaan. Motherfucker, I'm African. What the fuck, man? Yo, I'm sorry, but Europeans are gangster. You took everything and the name. Shit. That shit's incredible to me. They're fucking, fucking crazy.
As a black person, you cannot just be American. You have to be African American. That's still baffles me.
Yeah, you have to be African American because here it is, especially during the elections, you know, when it's time to get votes. All of a sudden they go, oh yeah. What about the black people? We got to get those votes. Like we're like a side note all the time. We're a side note. They treat you like shit for 4 years or whatever years before they treat you like shit on your education, shit on your school, shit on everything. Don't want to answer any of your fucking plight, nothing. But then when election comes, all black people listen to us here. We promise. And black people are like, oh Lord, they gonna help us. And then they do the same old tricks. They say,
You're
let's have
killing Josh
Kamala.
over here. Josh is.
What'd you say?
You're killing Josh over here. Josh is there.
But it's.
Oh man.
Telling you. And then they'll have like these white politicians, right? You know, because they got the black vote, the Latino vote. All of a sudden, we're like, it's not like we're Americans, because they'll say, whenever they go,
yes,
we want this to be in a better America. They're talking about white people, man. They ain't talking about us. They're not including us, even though African Americans, Black Americans built America. America is built off of black labor. And this is not me. Free fucking, and this is not even me being like against whites. This is a fact. Like, it's a fact. Let me tell you something real quick.
You and I have the most colonized names for the people that we are.
Listen, but do you have? Well, every Nigerian has his Christian name and their Nigerian name. Yes. You know, my Nigerian name is Ndubisi. That's my Nigerian name, Ndubisi. But you have your Christian name too. So if you ever meet a Nigerian and say, "My name is John," motherfucker, what's your real name? Okay, Adedukumbo Chukuma.
Mine is Ntorozo.
Ntorozo. You always got that.
Ntorozo. It means joy.
Yeah. It means joy. Okay, mine means health is the most important thing.
Jeez.
Ndubisi. That means health is more important. So if you look at, like, here's an example. For example, inventions in America. The first video game cartridge, video games invented by a black man named Jerry Lawson. But it would be no PS5, there would be no Nintendo. A black man invented the first home video, Jerry Lawson. Here's another one. You know, our security systems, like a home security system. A black woman in 1966, she was a nurse in Queens. Her name was Mary Van Brighton Brown. She invented a home security system. It was a black woman. I got another one for you, dude. The GPS, invented by a black woman. She's 85 years old, Dr. Gladys West. The GPS that we all have. It's a black woman that invented that. Gladys West, bro. I got another one for you.
Dynamite.
What'd you say?
Dynamite?
Well, they say they gave it to the Chinese, but we got to dig, and it always ends up some black motherfucker. You know? And here's what's even funnier, Eugene, that Asians come from, they're traced from the people from South Africa, the Bush people, the San people. That's where our Chinese come from.
Wow.
The San people from South Africa, they look like black Chinese people. I mean, look at Mandela. Mandela looked like a black Chinese man. You know, because a lot of people in South Africa got the face and the slant, but that's an African look, bro. Wait, hold on. Sorry, my phone ringing and shit. Phone ringing. Yeah, that's an African look. So everything comes from us. I got another one for you. Yeah. The touch tone phone and caller ID is a black woman by the name of Shirley Jackson. Invented it. Let me show you another one. You know the Super Soaker?
Yes.
That's Lonnie Johnson, black inventor. He just got his money. He's 67 years old. Brother, he invented the Super Soaker. Yeah, man. You know what else? Refrigeration, man. Refrigeration, black person. Escalator. You know your escalator? Black man invented the escalator. I'm not even the doorknob, the mailbox, black person. You think this shit, when you look, it's crazy. You know hockey. I know in South Africa they don't play hockey. But you know hockey, which is a white sport, is invented by African Canadians in 1895. 22 years before the NHL, the National Hockey League. Black Canadians, a lot of them from the Caribbean and Native Americans, invented the game of hockey. And they hide all this shit, man. Yo, and this is what I'm saying. This is what makes me upset. It's just because I'm always digging up information. I'm always digging things up. I'm always like, all right. And you know, with the internet, you can't just say inventor of, you have to say black inventor or they won't, or they're gonna make them white. The default is always white. So you gotta go.
So Google is in on it.
So Google goes, oh yeah, the black one, right? Okay, my fault. Yeah, you got it. My fault. You said black. Okay, my fault. I thought you was talking about the white one. Right, black. Let me. I'm Google, so I gotta show you the real shit. My bad. Okay, my fault. You know. My fault. You said man. Black, right? Right. Man,
I knew that.
Fault. Yeah, it was black. I thought it was white, man. But since you put black in, I got to do my job. Since I'm Google, I got to. And you know, like the light bulb, our light bulbs wouldn't last as long as if it wasn't for a black engineer named Lewis Latimer. Oh no yeah, way. Brother. So okay, when they first invented the light bulb, right? The light bulbs were exploding back in New Jersey, and the light bulbs it was made of kerosene, so they were exploding. So this brother named Lewis Latimer invented the filament. When you see in the middle of a light bulb, he invented the filament so it would never explode again.
Yes, that little coil that you see inside.
Lewis Latimer invented that shit, and they don't give him the credit. You understand? The first car company was black before Ford and all that other shit. It was called C&J.
Oh, what sorry, joking.
No, that's Buick. The name was Tyrone Buick. It was C&J Patterson car company, and then after 5 years, and they took all the shit from them. Yeah. So black folks have been, and you're talking about back in the day when it was almost impossible to accomplish anything. And black people, because black people were doing all the work. So they were being more innovative. They were inventing, you know, the refrigerator, the clothesline, the clothes dryer, the ironing board, the spatula that you cook with. Spatula, a little black girl invented that. So we were
SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob, is that a black woman? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm saying SpongeBob loves to use a spatula, so I thought he invented that.
SpongeBob Square, yes, motherfucker. You guys watch it out there? So I'm just saying, you know, my point is that, you know, African Americans are, you know, they're always pushed to the side when actually American culture is really it's really black. It really, well, the cool shit is really black. Look at the music. All American music is black. It's all black, from gospel to the blues to jazz to rock and roll. It's all black. The first acoustic guitar in America was made by a black man in 1883, Robert Fleming Jr. But they don't talk about that. Acoustic guitar, and you know everything relates back to Africa. All the instruments come from Africa anyway. You know what I mean? And it's so funny that the banjo is African and hillbillies use it.
The banjo?
The banjo is African, yeah. Banjo, it's African. That's an African, yeah. And it's like, and you know, and the hillbillies that don't like, hey, you goddamn niggers, but you're using an African instrument. Yeah, I'm like, excuse me, that's African. If you say you don't like black people, but you play an African instrument, you know.
But here's what I realized. I want to come back to what you're saying now, and then maybe we can put into perspective about how is it possible to write off significant inventions, creations, contributions by African people in history, right? So I used to speak to this friend of mine who used to tell me how Nigerians themselves are a lot of tribes in between, right? And not all of them get along. And then they also said there's a very big rivalry between West Africa, like Cameroonians and Nigerians.
Yeah.
And I never understood until I watched this documentary. So in this documentary, it speaks about how British people came to Nigeria.
Yes.
And how they settled in Nigeria, and how they use the different tribes
to fight amongst each
other and to draw borders.
Yeah, that's what they do to us now, dude. That's what they do. Okay, go ahead.
How the French colonized countries in Africa were the English speaking Nigerian side. So the rivalry comes from there, or the hatred comes from there.
It was
when
Anglophiles against Francophiles.
Yes, against Francophiles.
Yeah.
Yes. So when the British waged war against the French because of obviously the French were envious because of the oil, and the British were envious because of the gold in Congo and Cameroon.
Of course.
They had to take the tribes and pit them against each other, and that rivalry hasn't left till now.
Right.
And to spite Nigerians, they decided not to put effort and money into developing infrastructure in Nigeria. Right. So when they pulled out, they left it as is.
Like shit.
Like crap, yes. So they didn't leave it the way they found it. They didn't leave it better. They left it worse. And then
had black leaders that were usually corrupt. A lot of military who can control. You know, Fela sang about that. I had a famous uncle out of Nigeria, my uncle Sonny Okosun, who was very famous singer in the 70s and 80s, sang about that too. And so that's why Fela was one of the most famous, because he talked about the corruption and the government and don't trust the government. They got us, you know, under control. These black leaders are acting no different than the British colonizers. You know, and it's still happening now. You know what happened in Nigeria with the killing of those protesters and shit like that. But I don't think it's any different in South Africa. Them Dutch people had you motherfuckers fighting too.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
The clerk, that fucking piece of shit, and all those motherfuckers back then. Then they go, hey, let's make Mandela president. We're like, ooh, that's awesome. After keeping him in jail for 27 years. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And it was all, you know, it was all planned. Mandela, we just stay there. Just, you know, we got you out. We free, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure a lot of you South Africans were like, the real was like, man, fuck this, man. You know, but what are you going to do? You know what I mean? I still like, how you like Malema, man? What is up with Malema, your man? I like what he's saying. Y'all call him crazy. What's up with Julius Malema?
I think Julius speaks a lot of truth. I think he's saying what a lot of disenfranchised black people are feeling and saying. Because I think there's a big disconnect. You must remember that with us, there was a big disconnect before because of race.
Yes.
And then democracy came, there became a big disconnect because of class.
Right.
So now you find that a lot of affluent black people agree with what a lot of white people say.
Oh,
right?
No.
And then we don't know what the other black people are thinking and saying. And here he is speaking for the forgotten majority.
Yes. Which is
also ultra dangerous, because those people are the voters. They're the fastest growing new party in the history of the country.
Good.
So if this carries on like this, yes, they will become the majority sooner or later.
Yeah, I like that Julius Malema, man. I'm sorry. Every time I watch him, he says that right shit. He just goes, he says, all of Africans, all of us, no matter what country, we need to not let these people try to take us. I'm like, I agree with all that shit. And I'm like, because when I was in Johannesburg some years ago, I did comedy over there.
You didn't come to say hi?
What you say?
You didn't come say hi, nothing?
Nah, I say shit, man. Where were you, man? Where were you, Eugene? Where the hell were you, man? Come on, man.
That's an African thing. You came by and you never said hi, nothing.
You know, they say you just came and went. You didn't say anything to me. How can you just come? You what are you thinking? You have to stop by, say hi, eat some food. Yo, and even when I was there, they were like, yeah, Julius Malema, we like him, but he's crazy. I go, nah, he just speaks that real shit. Everybody anytime someone speaks the truth, and that's how they always set it up. They always make the person that's spitting real knowledge crazy, make them crazy. Look at what's happening with the pandemic.
Yes.
When I was in college, I was reading about, you listen to Malcolm X, Farrakhan, you listen to all these great speakers, and they talk about the government using biological, chemical weapons to control. And now the shit is happening. And now all the people you thought was talking about conspiracy, look at what's going on right now. You see what I'm saying? These motherfuckers are for real. Like, they trying to take over. And then it's so funny how they go, oh, we got a vaccine. We're going to go to Africa first and see if it works. They want to go to Africa, test it out on us. And we've always been the guinea pigs for their fucking evil. You know what I mean? And listen, go ahead.
No, I feel like the more information we have, the less we apply it in our own lives. I feel like you can go anywhere and search information like the one that you just told me now, but then when it happens in real time, you're less likely to believe what you know.
Right. Oh yeah. That's, you even got people going, you know what? It's a shame that this disease came out of China. I said, first of all, if you that stupid to think that some Chinese dude just ate a bat and then just spread it, you a dumb motherfucker.
If you break it down like that, it sounds ridiculous.
Some Chinese man just like, get the fuck out of here, dude. You know how hard it is to catch a bat? Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? You know how hard it is to catch a fucking bat? Even Batman in the movies never caught a bat. Like, even Batman didn't go, look, Alfred. No, you just caught a motherfucking bat. Yo, man, this is what I believe, because I've studied it so long since college. I said, oh, there's the shit that I've been reading about. It's happening now. Oh, there it is. And then they're going to blame it. Because you remember, there was a lot of people dying from COVID at first. It was like Europeans, remember? And then all of a sudden, black people were in the front. It was like, and the news was like, the news today, blacks are the ones that are suffering the most.
Yes.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. It's like all of a sudden they switched the narrative to us being the ones that are dying, us being the ones that need the vaccine, doing that bullshit.
I go to the township very often. People there have been wilding since COVID started. No masks, no deaths. I haven't seen as many numbers as people claim that they are. And I think the biggest egg on the faces of our country, of our government, was that the fact that the township is not ravaged by corona, because they were saying because of close quarter living, small spaces, no ventilation. And I'm like, if you've lived in the township, you know you've got too much ventilation. You're always outside.
Outside. It's the truth. So what they're trying to do is get them to come inside and trap them. You know, they go, no, everybody go inside. Go inside. They're like, get the fuck out of here, man. Shit. No, I'm not doing it. See, they think they're slick, so you all know. You guys are hip to it.
Yeah,
you're hip to it.
When I used to drive around when it was locked down and go to the township, and man, kids are playing outside. In all the people that I know, I've never heard one COVID death, and I know a lot of black people.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of one COVID death.
Right.
And I'm like, the biggest disappointment to the IMF and to the World Health Organization was the fact that it wasn't ravaging black people. For example, in Zambia.
Yeah.
And I remember now, the president said, fuck this. We're not locking down anything. Live your fucking best lives. If you die, you die. If you die, you didn't deserve to be here. So basically,
that's so African.
And then they're living their best life. There's no cases that are reported.
And that's what the leaders. But these African leaders, come on, man. Yo, come on. All you got to do is go, yo, fuck out of here. Get out of my country with that bullshit.
But
Bill Gates.
How do you say that, Godfrey, when you see African leaders, when they go to the UN dressed in suits just like European counterparts?
I know.
I think of Castro. I think of Gaddafi.
Yeah.
I think of all these leaders that came in their traditional garb and sat in the UN National Assembly and said what they need to say in their language.
In their language.
I listen to Russian professors. I listen to German professors. Not a word of English, right? Trying to explain the most complicated thing. But I'm like, if a black scientist, black politician that couldn't speak English was out there, forget about you. The head of the IMF was not speaking English, and he was a pedophile and a rapist. But
what? He was a what? He was a what?
He was a pedophile and a rapist.
Well, you know, a lot of those motherfuckers are weirdos, man. There's a lot of them, man. There's a lot of weird. They do a lot of that weird ass shit, dude.
So, Godfrey, don't you think it starts there? So now we go back to your point, right? Where you're saying,
Yes.
how come Black inventions will get lost or get lost to history and someone will capitalize on them?
Yeah.
Don't you think it starts first with, if you can sound and look like the person that can do something, then you easily become the person that can do the thing.
That's right.
If you don't have the qualification in engineering to make an escalator, who's going to believe that you made the escalator?
Right. Well, I mean, that's a good point, because who's going to believe it? But the way they've set it up, the disbelief comes. That's why when you bring up, hey, guess who invented the escalator?
Yes.
Like when I tell my white friends or my friends or Asian friends, and they go, holy fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I go, well, yeah, they did that on purpose. And when you see that it's a person that looks like me or you, they go, wait a minute, you guys did it. But we were taught that all you did was you were slaves and you played basketball. That's all we know. But I go, here's the thing too. In America, the most educated people are Black women. In America. What? Black women are the most educated. Okay. The immigrants with the highest degrees in education are Nigerians. Outside of America, Nigerians have the highest degrees in science and medicine.
Yeah.
Harvard Medical School just graduated 74 Nigerian doctors, the most. The smartest children in the world are 3 Black children. These with the highest IQs of over 145. There are 3 Black kids right now. The smartest children right now in the world. Okay? The highest paid robotics engineer is a Nigerian kid. He's 28 years old. Understand? So it's like,
just to jump in there, it's not unbelievable. It's made to seem unbelievable.
It's made to seem unbelievable, because I mean, all your friends are smart. My friends are smart. We're all Black, African, proud. We're smart. Our parents raised us right. It's normal for us. But the way the world made it, I mean, from colonization of Africans to African Americans to the Caribbean, they make that Black image stupid. Like, you guys, all you're good for is dancing and fucking. That's it. You're good at, because everybody, worldwide, they know about our dicks, right? You know that, right? Any country you go to, they go, man, I've been to I go to different countries. Oh, Black guy, you guys a big dick. Yeah, you like to fuck. Oh, big dick. They know about that. Yeah. They know about our stereotypes all over the world. And there's a worldwide envy of us. There's a worldwide hatred of us.
Right?
It's all over the motherfucking world, bro. Because anytime you go somewhere, I've been to a lot of countries. They always whisper. They always, it's even when I was in Russia, it's always like that, when that Black presence, it's always that jealousy, especially amongst the men. It's usually the men. The women, they want to fuck us. The women always want to fuck us.
But the pressure that they're under not to admit it, that's crazy. Right?
Because the men threaten them. The men say, you know how whacked and fucked up you got to be to tell a girl not to fuck a Black dude? Hey, stay away from those guys. Yeah, they have these big cocks and they might satisfy you. Stay away. Imagine you as a man, you have to go tell your women to stay away from those people. I mean, how weak are you? That's one of the main reasons why if you see a girl goes, oh, I don't like Black girls, I go, because your daddy told you not to like us. But you really do like us, because half the time you sit up there watching sports, you listen to hip hop, you're doing all that shit. Guess who invented it? These motherfuckers they told you to stay away from.
Yes.
So it's like a mental battle where they.
But Godfrey, here it is. It's only in America, especially, it's only when you're in company of A-list celebrities or just some sort of celebrity, whether it's sport, music, or entertainment, do you realize that racial dynamics are different. Why is it that in that world, and it freaked me out when I saw it, right? White women in that world of Black acclimatized so easily.
Yeah.
Is it just me?
In the celebrity world,
Yes. Don't get me started. Like that's how you feel right now.
Yes. When you're hold on. Hold on, man. I had to get something to drink real quick. When you're a black celebrity,
yes,
there's this thing that happens to white people, man, or people just in general, where they suspend their racism for a second. They suspend it. Like I've seen people, like I grew up in Chicago, so when I was around, I used to see Michael Jordan, like in the streets at parties, in his prime.
What?
Yeah. I met him 4 times. So it's like Michael Jordan, the greatest ball player. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Of all time.
And you should see, and you'll see white people just, hey, Michael. Oh, they're just like amazed because he's like, but he's not a regular black person to them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, did something happen?
Yes.
Did something happen?
He's not black.
He's not, right. And they just like, they could have, the day before, they could have called somebody a nigga or shit on somebody, or maybe their black neighbors or their Mexican neighbors. They could have been really racist the day before. But today they met Michael Jordan. And they're like, oh, I met Jordan. He was awesome. I was like, but wait a minute. You just called the guy a nigga the other day.
He looks just like Jordan.
Yeah, he looks just like Jordan. I think that was Jordan's cousin. You called Jordan's cousin a nigga.
Yes.
But then they're like, well, Jordan, oh man, he was awesome. I got his autograph.
Did they take out a banjo afterwards?
I met Michael Jordan the other day. It's like you're a different person. But here's what happens though. Mm-hmm. Like LeBron James, for example, another great. I've seen him play it live. They go, oh, LeBron James is amazing. But then when LeBron James made a statement, black women are beautiful, important, everybody came down on him. White people hated. They got upset at him. They got mad at him because he said black women are awesome. His mama's black. His wife's black.
Yes.
They got upset. White folks, man, because they only want you to perform and keep that suspension of racism. They want you to suspend their racism. It's almost like a slave. We just want you to work, man. Just work. If you start to show humanity, that's when we get upset because you're threatening. Go ahead.
It's the same thing with O.J. Simpson, right? When he got to that phase where he's like, I'm not black, I'm O.J.
That shit was crazy when he says, I'm not a nigga, I'm O.J.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because he was such a great football player. I mean, he was unbelievable football player that even white men, the police, remember when he was going in the Bronco, they even said, listen, O.J., just, you come on. Come on, Juice. They called him, come on, Juice.
The Juice.
Listen, just park, stop. Don't worry. We got you, Juice. You know how motherfucking whitewashed you got to be for white cops to support
to beg you.
To be like, come on, OJ, please.
We don't want to
stop it, Juice. Juice, we love you, Juice. Come on.
God damn it.
God damn it, Juice. Stop it, Juice. Stop it. Just pull over, Juice. We got you. God damn it, Juice.
Do you think, and this is what I always ask, do you think black celebrities that have become embraced by the white community that even date or marry white women, do you think they know that the racism has been suspended due to their fame? Or do they get to a point where they're like, I'm not black, I'm OJ? Well,
I think that I think a lot of black people, I think some of them do. They are aware of it, but they're okay with it. They're like, sometimes black people are just happy that it's suspended. They're like, cool, I'm cool with that. I don't need to address it. It's suspended. Yes. And they'll use that.
Doesn't apply
and there's
to
some that are aware. They're aware. They go, yo, if I wasn't here, man, I'll be another nigga, you know? And then there are some black people for real who really believe that they're in. They really believe it. Like, you know about the Breonna Taylor situation? Oh, Breonna Taylor was the black girl that was killed by cops that came in the house and killed this black woman.
Oh, yes.
For no reason.
Yes.
And the DA, there's a district attorney, this black dude who married a white woman, was supposed to indict those cops, and he didn't.
The cops, yes.
The black dude, his name is Daniel Cameron. We call him an Uncle Tom. He's an Uncle Tom. I don't know if you have a word for that in South Africa for a sellout, a black person that doesn't give a fuck.
Snitch.
What?
And then BMP.
BMB?
Yeah, it's a snitch.
B&B. Yeah, he's a fucking B&B piece of shit motherfucker. He's a piece of shit and B&B. B&B. You know, he's a piece of shit motherfucker. So he's the type of person that's like, I'm black, white people love me. There's black people that are like that. They're we call them like Uncle Toms, sellouts, coons. We call them coons and shit. There are some black people that really don't like black people. They feel like they're better than black people. They really do. Like and they use those ones to destroy us too. Remember, you have to have people that look like you to fuck your thing up too. So
yeah, just like they did with slavery, right? It was other tribes that were capturing.
Hell yeah, of course,
to sell them off.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, black folks, they're some of the worst. They're some of the worst. Oh yeah.
You know, in celebrity culture, I've seen how white women can make black women feel inferior in the company of other black celebrities. That for me is
oh yeah, isn't that crazy?
Huge, right?
That's huge. Like, yeah, that's another thing that gets on my fucking nerves.
Yeah.
Let me not be mistaken. There's a lot of black celebrities that have black wives, and vice versa. There's a lot. We can't. Samuel Jackson, Denzel Washington. You know, we can't. I don't want to. Oprah. I don't want to make it look like
Oprah is a black wife. Stedman, doesn't
he? You're terrible. Why are you doing that, man? You wrote. Yo, he is a husband wife. He is.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Well, he's a good boy. He knows. He's like, I ain't fucking this money up. You know what I mean? I used to see Stedman when I was like in my teenage years when I worked at a grocery store. Stedman used to come in. He's from Chicago, so he used to come in. And this is before he dated Oprah. And then all of a sudden he started dating Oprah. You know, because he was like a model. He's like 6'6". He's very tall. And he was a model, you know, he'd do the black magazines, the men's magazines. And he would be with hotter women than Oprah. Like,
stop it.
Of course. Yeah, but Oprah got that I'm fine as fuck money. You know.
How does anyone ever interrogate how did Oprah and Stedman meet? How did this 6'2" black male model meet up?
Male model get Oprah. He saw that dough and said, "Yo, what's good?" You know,
but who talked to who first over there? I would love to know that.
He was probably at an event. I could see that because he was one of those guys that was a popular model in Chicago. He probably was at some black event and saw her. You know, hell yeah, saw her across the room, her whole body across the room. I'm just no, but my thing is, I make sure that I do not say dumbass shit about black women in public arenas. I don't like that shit because a lot of celebrities tend to shit on black women, like black women. And the funny thing is black women deserve way more accolades, dude.
Yes,
they're the reason why a lot of these black actors have a fucking career because their black wife or their black girlfriend pushed them and helped them out when shit was bad. Denzel Washington's wife
didn't have a job.
Denzel's wife. Denzel gives his credit to his wife like a motherfucker. Yeah. Like it's like black women are not praised the way they're supposed to be praised because white women get praised all the time. Latin women get praised, and black women are the ones that are really holding it down in America, period. Like for real. The reason why Kamala Harris and Joe Biden won because the efforts of black women. Not saying that there were no efforts from other women, but black women were in the forefront. They were in the forefront, plain and simple, period. And they're always very supportive of us. That's a fact. It's not, I'm not trying to get cool points with black women. It's a fact. It's just a fact. You see it. But then we, black men, say some of the dumbest shit about them. It's fucking, that's why you see these white men, a lot of them run into these white dudes out of being upset at us. They'll go over to them being upset at us. And you know how we do. Black men will go to white women because they mad at black women, or you know, wow, black women will be like, I can't take, I'm gonna get a white boy. That bullshit. Which I believe, listen, you should love somebody because you love them, not because you're mad at your race. You should love somebody because you love them, not because I can't wait to get mixed children.
Yeah.
You know, some people want mixed kids really badly. So they, you know, There's a lot of fucked up shit. We have a lot of trauma, man. As African people, Caribbean people, Black, we have a lot of trauma in us, a lot of psychological shit, colorism, degradation. We have a lot of trauma, dude. Seriously.
Saying that, Godfrey, would you say that is it possible that you can become a normal civilian trying to make it with your partner and then become super famous with the same partner? At some point, wait, hold on. At some point, don't they start not looking like the stereotypical partner of a celebrity, right? Because I think, don't you think a lot of people go through that? I know some people. When you guys were just going down the Whole Foods, right? And you were going to auditions. But now when you at the red carpet and you're going to pool parties and all of a sudden,
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that where I know some people like that are known, but I ain't gonna name their names, where they were like, I gotta step it up on the chick. I gotta get a better looking chick. Yeah, I'm this famous. I gotta have something that matches my fame. Yeah. And it's not hard to get that because usually the supremely hot women look for celebrities. They look for the cash cow. There's some women who groom themselves just to get a rich man or a famous person. And they're usually super hot, and you know what I'm talking about. When you see some girl, you go, oh no, I better be a professional soccer player to get that shit. You know how you just, and I know me, I'm pretty confident, dude, but there's some you go, nah, that's NBA pussy right there. I can't, nah. Oh no, that's Marvel movie pussy. That's Marvel movie pussy right there. Oh, I gotta be the Black Panther to get that ass. Nah. I better own Amazon to get that pussy right there. I ain't gonna get that pussy. Because let's be real. What wealthy man do you see around ugly women? Never. They're always around the hottest chicks, right? They're always around the hottest chicks because let's be real, a lot of hot women ain't shit neither. And they groom themselves to get the rich man. And they know, men, we're visual. We want pretty things,
But Godfrey, who has the biggest insecurities then? Let's say you're the guy, you become famous, you're with your girlfriend that you've been with for years, and all of a sudden you're in the company of these models. Who will become insecure about the partner not looking like them? Is it the partner going, I don't want to live in this world? Or is it you going, I don't want to be in this world with you?
Oof.
Who's bound to break first? In a pool party in Bel Air with Latina and blondes at the pool, and versus.
But wait. Latina and blondes, does that means they're all fine because they're Latina and blonde?
No, it means
what about black?
Races.
What about supremely hot black chicks?
No, I'm saying that it will be different races where you can tell the difference immediately.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. It's all about what your dynamic is with this person. It's all about what kind of integrity you have. So if you say, hey, I got to get me one of these Latino or blonde, that means you weren't shit in the first place. Because a lot of times wealth just amplifies who you truly are. Because you were always that asshole. You was always that piece of shit. It's just that once you got money, you're like, bye, bitch. You know what I mean? So, but if you're
I like how you walked away from the screen because I really felt that one.
Did you feel that?
You left me behind.
I did. So if you're a person of morals and all this other stuff, and you're down with your people and down with you'll stick with you. Because LeBron James stuck with his wife. Snoop Dogg still with his wife. But
Godfrey, I always say, do you feel like maybe there's sometimes the lack of having options, money gives you less options, right?
But they say you're as faithful as your options.
Yes. What if deep inside Godfrey wants to have a Rolls Royce, he wants to have a mansion, he wants to date blondes, but because of his financial circumstances, people are not able to see through that. They're not able to see through your Buick, man. But now the Phantom makes it better.
My financial situation will never stop me from getting a blonde. White women love black dudes. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be rich to get a white girl. But remember that NBA pussy? NBA pussy. But you can get blondes, but then there's the other kind of blondes in the NBA.
That's the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about that one.
But first of all, personally, I don't give a fuck about blondes. I like black women, so. But I know. Listen, I've been around and dated a lot of different types of women. I've smashed a lot of different kinds of women. Like, you know what I mean? But it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. I don't got time to lie because I live in New York City, man. You got everything at your disposal. But
Yes.
but as far as like having a girlfriend or whatever or white, they were always black. So black first, always, all the time.
Officially the longest guest that we've had because we had so much fun talking to you. Thank you for giving us your time.
You are very welcome, my friend.
We will send you a text with our details.
Okay, Amangla. How y'all say that? What's that?
Awetu. Yeah, you're right.
Awetu. Hell yeah, y'all be having those dope ass. I say Ketchifo, like Nigerians. Ketchifo, I will see you later. Peace, motherfuckers.